In continuation with this chapter, now let's study another topic, that is total internal reflection of light. Let's understand total internal reflection with the help of a ray diagram. Total internal reflection occurs when an object is placed in a denser medium and thus the light travels from denser to rarer medium only. Let us consider this as a rarer medium and this part as a denser medium. And let us consider that the object is placed in a denser medium and the light which travels straight and incident on the interface will go undeviated after refraction, and the light ray which incident at some angle, then after refraction the ray will divide into two parts, that is the ray will partially reflect and partially refract. As it is coming in a rarer medium, so it bends away from the normal, this is angle of refraction, and some part of light ray will reflect into the same medium, this is angle of reflection, and this angle is angle of incidence. Now when we will increase the angle of incidence, then also the ray of light will divide into two parts, and the ray of light will bend towards the interface and will be away from the normal. This is angle of refraction, and this is angle of reflection, and this angle is another angle of incidence, let it be I dash. Now if the angle of incidence is incident on an interface in such a manner that the angle of refraction is 90°, then this angle of incidence is known as critical angle. And the ray of light refract at an angle of 90°, that is the ray of light will graze on an interface. Now when we will increase angle greater than that of critical angle, then the ray will suffer total internal reflection. That is, at this time there is no refraction occurs and the ray of light totally reflect in the same medium, that is into the denser medium. So when I is greater than that of critical angle, then light ray suffers total internal reflection. Thus, for total internal reflection, there are two essential conditions which we require. These are the light must travel from denser to rarer medium, and the second one is angle of incidence must be greater than that of critical angle. Note down these two essential conditions which itself explain total internal reflection, that is when light travels from denser to rarer medium and when angle of incidence is greater than that of critical angle, then light suffers total internal reflection. And here what is critical angle? So critical angle is when light travels from denser to rarer medium then angle of incidence is critical angle, corresponding to which angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. Also, we have seen that when light suffers total internal reflection, then there is no refraction occurs, thus there is no loss of energy, and thus the image formed is the brightest image. That is, in total internal reflection, there is no loss of energy. Loss of energy of incident light. Thus, image obtained is the brightest one as compared to the images obtained by mirror as well as lenses. Now let's study the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Refractive index mu or n and critical angle. As we have studied by Snell's law, that refractive index of a medium into sine of angle of incidence or refraction is equal to a constant, and in total internal reflection we have studied that when the light travels from denser to rarer medium and the angle of incidence is greater than that of critical angle, then the light ray suffers total internal reflection. Here, angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, and when angle of incidence is equal to critical angle, this implies that angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. So let us consider this as a medium 1, that is rarer medium, and this is medium 2 and it is a denser medium. So here we can write that refractive index of medium 2, so this is medium 2, and when angle of incidence is equal to critical angle, so here we can write I is equal to IC and refractive index of medium 1, and here angle of refraction at that time is equal to 90 degree. So here we will write sine 90 degree. We know sine 90 is 1, so we get mu 2 sine of critical angle equal to mu 1, and therefore sine of critical angle is equal to mu 1 by mu 2, or it gives refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2. Also, we have studied that refractive index of medium 1 with respect to 2 is equal to 1 upon refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Thus, on substituting its value, mu12 is equivalent to sine IC, we get sine IC is equivalent to 1 upon refractive index of 2 with respect to 1, or refractive index of 2 with respect to 1 is equal to 1 upon sine IC. So here we can note that refractive index of a medium is inversely proportional to the critical angle. That is, if refractive index is less, then the critical angle of that light ray will be more. So in terms of wavelength, we can write, we have studied refractive index and its relation with wavelength, and velocity in the previous videos. So let's recall it. We know that by this relation that sine IC is equal to mu1 by mu2, and relation of refractive index and wavelength is equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1, and in terms of speed it is v2 by v1. That is, when refractive index is less, its wavelength will be more. Also, its speed will be more in that medium. Therefore, we can also take one example, that is, as we know that the wavelength of red light is more than that of violet light. Thus here we can see that lambda is more that of red color with respect to air. So here lambda 2 is red and lambda 1 is air, and lambda 2 is more, then its refractive index will be less. And if the refractive index of red color is less, then its critical angle will be more. So here we can write that critical angle of red color is more than that of violet color. If we will place here violet with respect to air, then we can see that violet is less, wavelength of violet is less, therefore its refractive index will be more. If refractive index is more, then its critical angle will be less. So when we will compare red and violet, we see that critical angle of red color is more than that of violet critical angle. So these are the relations of critical angle and refractive index. Now let's understand and experiment how we can demonstrate total internal reflection of light. Consider a beaker in which water is filled, and now dissolve some soap solution into this beaker so that the water will become turbid and will be not so clear, and then incident a laser light or a beam into this water and air interface. Laser light is a light having high intensity. Very high intensity is a strong light, and it is also a coherent light. We will study about coherent in wave optics. Laser is light amplification of stimulated emission of radiation. So, when we will incident a laser beam on water air interface, then some part of the light will refract and some light will refract. Because of that, we will see a spot on roof of a room as well as the floor of a room because of partial refraction and reflection. This is a rarer medium, so it will refract away from the normal and it will refract towards the normal in a denser medium. And when we will incident it in such a manner that there will be no spot seen on the roof, then that angle is greater than that of critical angle, and then only total internal reflection occurs. This is a laser light. Angle of incidence is greater than that of critical angle, then only a spot will be visible on the floor of a room, and this shows total internal reflection of light. Same we can do in a test tube when we will fill this Termit solution into a test tube, and when a laser light is passed through this water, then the light will suffer multiple number of internal reflection. and this is very much comparable to that of optical fiber, which we will study and as an application of total internal reflection of light. Now let's understand some applications of total internal reflection of light. First application is sparkling of a diamond. Diamond shines and sparkle, and it is due to total internal reflection. So shine in diamond is because of total internal reflection. And we have learned the concept that total internal reflection occurs when angle of incidence is greater than that of critical angle. So when we will see natural diamond, it will not show that much of shine or a sparkle as compared to the diamond which is particularly or cut in such a manner that their faces, when the light incident on that faces, then this incident is greater than that of the critical angle, and because of that multiple reflections occur in diamond and the light remains in a diamond which sparkles with full intensity, and because of that diamond shows shine or brilliance. So let's first calculate the value of critical angle, and when the light is incident on the diamond greater than that of the critical angle, then the diamond shines. So, as refractive index of diamond is 2.42, therefore we know that sine of critical angle is equal to 1 upon refractive index of diamond, that is 2.42, and we have also studied that how to calculate sine into its degree value. I have taught you in a separate video that with the help of a sine table, we can calculate it in degree. It is equal to 24.4 degree. Now, therefore, diamonds are diamonds faces are cut in such a manner that incident light entering into it is greater than 24.4 degree. Thus, multiple total internal reflection occurs. And because of this, light remains in diamond and sparkle with full intensity. Thus, we have seen that the sparkling of diamond is because of total internal reflection. Now, second application is an air bubble shines in water. It is also because of total internal reflection. Shining of an air bubble. Consider an air bubble in water. This is water and this is an air bubble. Now, the critical angle of water air interface is equal to, you need to remember it, that is 48.75 degree, and when the light incident on this air bubble through water in such a way that it is greater than that of the critical angle, that is 48.75 degree, then total internal reflection occurs, and because of that this bubble shines. This is refraction, and when this angle of incidence is greater than this value, then total internal reflection occurs, and due to this air bubble shines. Now the next application is mirage. Mirage is an important application of total internal reflection, and it's an optical illusion of pond of water in an hot areas or as well as in cold areas. So let's see, it's an optical illusion which is not real of pond of water. And we observe an inverted image along with the object. Due to mirage. Generally, it is observed in hot areas The mirage formed in hot areas is known as inferior mirage. And mirage observed in cold areas is known as superior mirage. Mirage occurs because of total internal reflection. Let's see it. Let's understand how mirage is formed in hotter region as well as in summer days. Consider a ground. So we know that in summer days the layers of air closer to the ground is hotter as compared to the layers of air above to the ground. So here the temperature is more. Therefore, the density of layers of airs will decrease. Density will be less. And thus, the refractive index of layers of air near to the ground will be less. Thus, it is considered as a rarer medium. And when we will talk about the layers of air above to the ground having some height, so this medium, at this the temperature will be less, therefore density will also therefore density will increase. Density of layers of air and refractive index will also be more. That is, it is considered as a denser medium. So now let's consider a pole which a person is observing from some distance. So he will observe this pole along with its inverted image. How it happens? Because the light which is coming from this pole will incident from denser to rarer medium, and here the light when incident on the ground will travel away from the normal, and the observers see this light ray in this form. That is, he will observe both object as well as its inverted image. This happens because of mirage, and mirage is due to total internal reflection. Now next application is totally reflecting glass prism. These are right angled isosceles prism. We know isosceles triangle, in which the two sides of a triangle are equal or having same length. Any of the three sides, any two sides are of equal length, then they are known as isosceles prism. Here totally reflecting glass prism is known as right angled isosceles prism. Also, here we are considering the prism is made up of a glass material. So here the refractive index of glass is 1.5. Therefore, critical angle of glass is equal to 1 upon 1.5, and it is the value of sine of IC, which is equal to 41.8 degree. And when the ray of light incident on a right angled prism in such a way that its angle of incidence is greater than that of this critical angle, then the ray light will suffer total internal reflection. Let's see it. Its first case, when the ray of light deviate through an angle of 90 degree. This is 45 degree, 45, and this is 90. Now let us consider a case when an object is placed in this way and the light rays from the object is incident perpendicular on the prism face. Now as they are falling perpendicular on this face, so they will move or pass undeviated into the prism and will strike on the other face, and they will strike at an angle of 45 degree, which is greater than the critical angle of glass, that is 41.8 degree, and therefore the rays will suffer total internal reflection and deviate by an angle of 90 degree. Here also the ray will strike at an angle of 45 degree, which is greater than that of value of critical angle. So here angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, therefore they will suffer total internal reflection and will deviate by an angle of 90 degree, and then it will fall perpendicular on this face of a triangle or a prism and will go undeviated. So the image formed is A dash B dash. Here we have seen that the image is deviated through an angle of 90 degree, and now let's consider an isosceles prism in which the emergent ray will get deviated by an angle of 180 degree. In this case, let this is 45 and this is also 45 degree, this is 90, and when the ray of light is incident at an angle of 45 degree, that is greater than that of critical angle, then again it will suffer total internal reflection and will again strike to another face of a triangle or a prism. So here it is 90 and 90 degree, and then fall perpendicular on this side will go undeviated, but let us suppose this is A and B, this is an object, and this strikes at an angle of 45 degree, thus occurs total internal reflection, deviate by an angle of 90 degree and strike at this face, again deviate through an angle of 90 degree and fall perpendicularly on this face. So here it is A dash and B dash, but here we can see that the direction of incident ray and emergent ray is opposite to each other, therefore they are at 180 degree angle. That is, the light rays are deviated by an angle of 180 degree. Let's consider another case in which totally reflecting glass prism gives an inverted image and of same size as that of the object. Consider an object AB, and through this object the light falls normally on this face, so will go undeviated into the prism and will strike on this surface at an angle of 45 degree. Therefore will suffer total internal reflection because it is greater than that of critical angle and will deviate at an angle of 90 degree. Here also it will deviate and will again strike at this face and go undeviated. This is ray A, this is B. So emergent ray will be A dash and B dash. It will give an inverted image of AB of same size. Now let's consider an important application of total internal reflection, that is optical fiber. It plays a very important role in telecommunication services like TV. We use it in internet. It transmits information all over the world, and in telephones, etc. We use optical fiber to design medical instruments and use it for many purposes. We use it to check the flow of blood in the heart. And what is the function of optical fiber and how it works and how we can design it? Let's understand it first. Optical fiber transmits our information or data in the form of light. Optical means light and fiber is a thread. Information in the form of light pulses or light rays. It's a very thin, this fiber is very thin, long strand made up of glass or plastic fiber. So it is in the form of light rays along a glass or plastic strand. Optical fiber is made up of glass or plastic strand, also known as fiber. And this optical fiber is of a small diameter so that it carry information without attenuation to lessen or to decrease attenuation or noise. Optical fiber is based on the principle of total internal reflection. It consists of three parts. One is known as a core, that is a central part. It is made up of glass, and we know the refractive index of glass is 1.5. So consider it as refractive index mu1. Its refractive index is 1.5, and then again it is surrounded by another coating known as cladding. It has a refractive index less than that of the refractive index of a core. It is known as cladding. Its refractive index is 1.48, known as cladding. This is core, and this core and cladding is again coated by a buffer coating known as plastic jacket. Both are coated by a buffer coating. It is used to protect both core and cladding from any damage. This is a plastic jacket. Now let's understand how it works. To understand its working, let's draw an optical fiber in which the core part is coated with cladding. Cladding has low refractive index and this is a core part having high refractive index. So when a ray of light is incident at one end of a fiber, then due to refraction of light it bends towards the normal and incident at an angle greater than that of critical angle. And because as there is low refractive index of cladding, so it bends the light towards the normal, and in denser medium it bends towards the normal. So here the light when incident or strikes at an angle greater than critical angle, then it will suffer internal reflection. Here again it suffers total internal reflection because it strikes at an angle of 45 degree and there is no loss inside the core. Thus the light suffers from multiple internal reflections. So here the main concept is the incident or striking light must be greater than that of critical angle, then only internal reflection occurs. And here we are taking a small diameter of a core, because of that there will be no noise and uh, no loss of intensity of light, and we get the exact or the total beam of light. Here cladding has low refractive index, so it is considered as a rarer medium and this is considered as the denser medium. So light bends towards the normal only. With the help of optical fiber, we get high speed to the information and it can transmit over long distances without any loss of intensity, but the speed of rays is not equal to the speed of light here. It is somewhat less to that of speed of light. So optical fiber, it provides high speed as well as high performance to the data or information.